What is going on, all you average gamers, and welcome to part 7 of my Give Me God of War Ragnarok tip video. Really hope you enjoy. If you do, like, comment, sub would mean the world, and let's just jump right into it. So to cover some of the very basic things we talked about in the previous episodes, one would be to charge up your axe, hex arrow an enemy fully, freeze the enemy, and then you can freeze the other. And now with both of them frozen and or slowed, you can just do as much damage as you possibly can. We don't like projectile throwing enemies, so we're going to throw this rock. Miss, because, you know, that is exactly what we wanted to do. We're going to wait for the projectile. Could have blocked it, you didn't have to counter it. Even though he was stuck, we're going to knock him in the air. I heard a light off behind me, we're going to throw this rock. So I used to rage there because I didn't want to be staggered. I do see that I have my charge up ability for my axe. I use rage there just to give me some breathing room. That's one thing I really like about the Spartan Rage. Valor is really good if you can time everything correctly. It's not a hard thing, it's just as soon as you get hit, you activate it. But with Spartan Rage, you can use it in so many versatile ways. So for this first enemy here, we're going to try to knock him off the map. I did have my sonic arrows out, so I'm going to switch back to my hex arrows. He just hit the nastiest juke I've ever seen. We're just going to keep trying to launch him off of the map. Now, for every one-on-one fight, everything I talk about when it comes to any one-on-one fight is launch them up in the air if you can. That way they can't do any type of damage to you. We're going to pick up this Rage Stone. We see a projectile. We're going to deal with that. We got hit by an attack. That's okay. We do have our Rage, so we're going to pop it to stop taking damage. We're going to take out this one first because he has the one with the most damage. I see that he's hexed, we can get him burned. We're gonna launch ourselves to him just to do some damage. Block that attack. He is almost defeated. Now if you realize we're doing significantly less damage because we used our rage. But that is okay, because we can always get it back. Freeze the enemy. So one-on-ones, you can freeze and or launch them up into the air to stop them from doing damage to you. Granted, I took damage and I lost my rage. We can always get it back. My whole thing about this is I can always go back and do it flawless, right? I have other playthroughs where that's kind of my goal. But in this one, I want to show you, it's like, if you're naturally playing, these are like the things that you can do to kind of help yourself get a little bit better, the things you should look out for, you know? That's all I'm trying to do. Okay, so for a fight like this, you want to hex arrow an enemy fully. Inflict burn damage as fast as you can because you can see backup arrive. We're going to poison the enemy. Avoid the attacks, of course. So, anytime he spits the gas at you like this, you can avoid it by using a runic attack. It does 0 damage. And I see that we have our axe charge up, so we're going to use it. We're about to finish him right now. So we want to hex arrow that one to freeze the other one. And then you can always launch the enemies. And that's pretty much the fight. So when it's a 2-on-1, like I said earlier, it's good to kind of freeze one and launch the other. You can use your axe very well for a 2-on-1. The blades work too. Again, a lot of it's very situational or on how you like to fight. Another enemy. So, hex arrow. As you can see, he's frozen. I surf and snare just for the damage. We just unlocked this runic attack, might as well use it.
Time to end this storm.
His gift endures after all. Or should I say, his presence?
You are not funny.
You are not funny.
She gets me every time. Okay, so I want to quickly show you a skill that I think is super useful. This is something that I put on every single time that I play the game because it's just the way I like to play the game. You can change it to damage or elemental damage, whatever you prefer. You get these upgrades, I'm sure as you guys know, by using them a certain amount of times. After using them, you're able to upgrade them to make them have an additional effect. Now, personally, I like the momentum charge because, as you guys can read, greatly increases the immolation charge. But that doesn't just mean for your blades, it increases everything. So it increases your spear charge up and your axe charge up, which is exactly what we're aiming for. So whenever you freeze an enemy, you then switch to your blades, do this, get that charge up, switch back to your axe, and now you're able to do that permafrost, freeze the enemy again, do more damage, whatever you want. You can activate the Furious Immolation charge. It is very good at dealing uh, bonus fire damage to enemies or whatever you want. But me personally, whenever I'm fighting general mobs, I tend to freeze the enemies because they can't fight back, you know? And then with bosses, I'll use the immolation charge because it does more damage. There is going to be a boss fight here. Hopefully I don't die. I mean, that'd be kind of sad. I don't have much health, and I have just enough rage.
Ah, it appears the librarian would like a word.
So, same concept for boss fights. We're going to Hex Arrow, Burner.
Sounds like she wants that journal back.
No.
Use a shield strike, brother.
So he's Hex Arrowed, almost burned. This will 100% burner. Yes, sir. What we want to do now, block, not take any damage. Frey's gonna use her poison. Now we're gonna try to do as much damage as we can. Alright. Fuck. We should have raged without trying to take damage. That's easy to avoid. Parries. She's Hex Arrowed. You can see she's slowed. Hex Arrowed again. We're gonna go ahead and use all our rage, build up the stun, and if we cancel it now, then we're just not gonna be able to call it in again. We got her stun. We're gonna wait because she does that move. That was unfortunate. She does it 3 times now, and we lost our charge up. She's gonna do it 3 times, remember. So she's burning. She's going to take as much damage as possible because that burning is no joke. That should be the fight pretty much. Yeah. We're going to do it again. I'm not a huge fan of how that played out. I could have 100% did it way better. Okay. Hex arrows. Inflict burn. Avoid all these attacks. I hate that attack a lot. We're going to cancel our rage because we'll be able to get it back. We did parry everything, which was nice. So right now we're trying to just build up our permafrost. As soon as we get our permafrost, see, now we're gonna call our rage in again, which was super clutch. I feel like I should have just used all of it right there. Get that stun damage up, but that's alright. So now we're gonna poison her, activate the permafrost, and just try to do as much damage as we literally can before she starts attacking again. We got our rage back. We're gonna go ahead and rage. I switched to my sonic arrows to hopefully get some stun damage build up, but it doesn't look too good. Oh god, it's gonna hit me. Alright. I should have waited. we'll get the burn damage off, and she's a goner. Okay, so this encounter can definitely suck. They're pretty relentless and they do not care about your feelings. So we're gonna freeze this guy. We want to keep an eye on all three of them. We're going to rage because that ball's going to hit us. So we did kind of abuse our rage, which is fine. That's what it's there for. See, we could have used our poison, but we're going to save our poison for the Drake. And then now it's a one-on-one fight. It becomes way simpler. I'm going to burn him because I don't like him. So since we're so underleveled for this Drake fight, we're going to just defeat it by any means necessary. Usually you would throw the spear at its knees and bring it down and just kind of hit it in its stomach. You do a bunch of damage that way. And I would always be like, oh, inflict burn damage, as you guys can see from every episode. It's kind of like the #1 thing I tell you guys to do. But now, since it's so big and so high leveled, we're going to just, again, beat it. No tricks up our sleeves, no extra advantage that we're going to have. We don't even have our rage to give us that damage. Oh, he's about to swing on me. Ow. Almost. Had we activated our permafrost, it would have been over already. Oh my god, that really almost killed me one hit. Dude, flawless up to the point I got hit and it almost killed me.
A badge of honor.